I'm here joined by Nick Kenny. Nick, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a good 2020 for you, despite everything. First World Championship appearance in the PDC, up to 89 in the world. A good 2020.
Yeah, cheers, Josh. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, it's been very different. Not the first year in the PDC I'd expect. Started off okay, up until March, until we got locked down, and form was in and out and quite good. Still getting used to PDC and the routine that was going to be, and then obviously with coronavirus striking, it sort of all changed again. But yeah, I did okay. Wasn't great, it could have been a lot better. There was some doubles I missed here or there that could have been, safely in the World Championship without having to qualify. But, getting in there in the last minute in that qualifiers has made a good year. A tidy year, a good experience. It's just made it great, really. And it's a good stepping stone to try and retain the tour card over the 2 years. But yeah, to win a game in the World Championship, as you know, in the BDO, I never won a game. So that was a big sort of monkey off the back sort of thing. And it was obviously the Ali Pali is a much bigger stage as well. So all things good.
Would you say one of the main things that was missing was a little bit of consistency? Because we saw the semi-final on the Pro Tour, we saw some good runs, but we also saw quite a lot of first round defeats. It's trying to find a happy medium, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, it is about consistency, and it's very tough, especially when some people are knocking in 100 averages against you, and you do try and, you try not to, but you try a bit harder, and you start, pushing and pulling and thinking, what are you doing wrong? But sometimes you just have to take it on the chin that you've lost your game, and that's it. Yeah, I've got a new set of darts, obviously from the lockdown. I sort of planned Darts Unique come on board and planned to get a similar set to what I was throwing. And the first time I used them competitively was in Germany then. And the third day, obviously, I had that amazing run. So yeah, you're right, you are. I am very inconsistent. And that's the plan, really, is to become more consistent, start knocking in 90 pluses all the time, taking my chances as well, because there's a few chances I really messed up, really. Just a bit of inexperience. Sometimes you're wiring doubles. I should have beat Ratowski in the one he won in February in the last 16, and the draw opened up a little bit, and I was really playing well. And up until that point, I was one of the most, I think, the top 180. I think I was 11th on the overall 180 hitting for the whole year up until about March. And I haven't played anywhere near as many games as the top 10, if you know what I mean. All the top 10 with your Peter Wrights and your MVGs, your Devons are all doing well. So I wasn't getting very, the best I've had is 2 last 16s, and I was number 11 overall, which shows my scoring power was really good. Still obviously adapting to these new darts, but they've got me more than I've ever done with the other darts in terms of a win at a World Championships. But yeah, that's the aim. It was a bit, a couple of times I missed doubles. The Van Gerwen game in the semi-final, I should have been 4-0 up if you look back at it. And he goes and absolutely batters Sulovic in the final, where that could have been me, and I'd have been in the Players Championship. I'd have been up there. It's a sort of the top. I'd have been in a different part of the draw. You never know. What would have happened. But yeah, it's good. So
just reflecting on the World Championship, that first win in a World Championship was a really big moment for you. And in the second round against Germain, you had your chances there, didn't you? And you could have beaten him at some points.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the second game. I really enjoyed more. First game, I felt great in the practice room. Obviously, it was that was the afternoon first on. I was there about 8:30, good couple of hours practicing. I was battering the treble 20, and we went up for ball, and I lost the ball, and then all of a sudden it hit me like I was just going to go out onto this big stage the first time. So I didn't expect it. I've had a bit of experience in the BDO, but it sort of hit me a bit. I wasn't shaking or anything. It was just like, that sort of butterfly feeling, and just sort of wasn't comfortable up there to start with. But I'd been up on the stage. We had a chance to go and have a throw, and I did a few consistent scores, a couple of 134s, 180s. I thought, this feels good. I'm really looking forward to this. Went for the ball downstairs then with Dirk, and it all went to pieces. But I did settle in then, and I managed to get over the line. But in terms of Germain, I really enjoyed that game. People said I looked a lot more, composed, more, more at ease, less nervous, more comfortable, and I did feel that as well. And I think the 8-8 in the third leg of the first set is the game changer, really. And I know it's one leg of the whole match, I have 20-odd legs, but if I'd have won the first set, I'd come out all guns blazing a bit second set, after losing the first leg. I played quite consistent. And then it's just nip or tuck. And his scoring was brilliant. And he kept going out last start as well, which was a bit annoying. But yeah, I could tell he was a bit nervous himself, Jermaine, because, you know, I don't really see him jumping around a lot, but he was quite vocal and quite, you know, bouncing around a bit, which means he was a bit nervous, and it was a bit of a relief to get over against me, where I just tried to stay focused and take my chances, and just didn't happen quite as well as I wanted it to. So all experience, though. I really enjoyed the game against Jermaine.
How much easier do you think it will make it for, hopefully, when you qualify again in 12 months' time, that you've had the experience of not just winning a game, but the whole experience of being at the Alexandra Palace and what it's like to compete in a World Championship?
I think it'll help. It's all experience, and experience, you can't beat experience. You know, you've got players like Paul Lim, for example. He, you know, on paper he should never have beaten Luke Humphries, but, you know, experience from all the years he's been playing got him over the line at the end of the day. That's just, you can't beat experience. So any experience in any big tournaments is going to help me in the future. Yeah, the crowd thing could be a bit different, because I've never played in front of a big, robust, you know, boisterous, you know, PDC crowd. So maybe that's going to be something that, you know, I won't be used to, and I'll have to get used to very quick. But in terms of, you know, your preparation, you know, in terms of being at the Ali Pali, what happens, the PDC setup, all that, you know, and, you know, going up just before you walking on, and the practice rooms and all that sort of routine. I'm used to that now. Yeah, the only thing I'm a bit, you know, different, I want to play in front of a crowd. You never know, you know, I don't, apparently, as soon as you leave the practice room, you can hear them at the bottom of the stairs. And you keep going up the stairs towards, you know, the arena, and they just get louder and louder and louder. And that's a buzz I want to feel, to be honest.
Yeah. And just reflecting on, obviously, Gerwyn Price winning the tournament, the first Welsh winner of the PDC World Championships, at least. A terrific achievement for the number one in Wales. And could you just tell us what your relationship and what your friendship's like with Gerwyn?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we sort of, you know, we have a little Welsh table when we're on the tour. First weekend, you know, I remember Gezi playing local Super League and beating us all, and he played a handful of games. He was averaging 30 plus every game, playing local tournaments and counties. And I always have a bit of a joke with him that I got a better record against him, but because I used to beat him quite a lot when he first started out, and I was in finals of, you know, a tournament up in Caerphilly. He did an exhibition when he did get on the PDC down in Newport, Rodney Parade, and I beat him in that, and he just kept winding him up about it. But from day one, really, when we went to Barnsley, you know, we sat with them, and he said, "Oh, I'll give you a lift home," and all that. And he, you know, I remember him from, you know, I haven't seen him for so many years, but he's been very welcoming, really, in the PDC, as well as Barry Bates and John Worsley. We all sit together, we all have a bit of a laugh, play sort of game called 170. We all play in tons and get ready for the Pro Tours together, and, you know, have a bit of food or chill out with a few drinks. But yeah, he's, like I said, I wouldn't call him my best friend, or, you know, or he's probably not my best mate on tour, but yeah, I've watched him this year, and, you know, I followed him. He's welcomed me brilliantly, to be fair. He's given me lifts home, in fairness. So he's a top man. He's not what everyone thinks he is on TV, to be fair. He's quite quiet. He needs that aggression to play. You know, people have their opinions of him, and it's just like, don't know him. The perception side of it is, it's not the best, to be honest. You know, he's perceived to be something he's not. He's like really quiet, you know, keeps himself to himself. You know, he's out for himself to do his best for him and his family, so to speak. So fair play to him, and he's been the best player all year by a mile. I've watched him and think, well, you know, that's the level I want to be at now. You know, and it's mad how he's done that. You know, from just playing rugby, picking him up, you know, playing Super League, going to Q School, and 6 years later, he's the best player, and he's the hottest topic in Winmau Darts, really. So, and to be Welsh, you know, I'm just, you know, what the Welsh are like. They're so patriotic. It's class to have, you know, Wayne last year, Gezi this year, and obviously Johnny and Gezi winning the World Cup. So Welsh Darts is a good thing. But yeah, he's a top lad, and, you know, I look forward to, you know, spending more time on the tour with him and learning off him as well, to be fair.
You say you met him in Super League, and he was averaging 90 plus from when he first started, really. From that point, did you know he was going to become a top player in the PDC?
I knew he had the potential. I didn't really know. I know I'd beaten him in a few finals, and he missed a few doubles against me, and, you know, he wasn't like, he was doing it in the one-off matches, but, you know, I always thought the PDC was a different kettle of fish. But in fairness, Barry, you know, he said go for it, and he did. And as soon as he started getting to the TV majors, you think, he's got a game. And when he had that bit of a thing with Adrian Lewis, and I thought, oh, it's not really the best thing. But yeah, the last 3 years I've known he's going to be one of the best. Originally, you never know how they're going to adapt, or you never know how anyone's going to adapt to it. But through experience and keeping on, he's now one of the best. So fair play to him.
Yeah, and for yourself, what are the goals going forward in 2021? We don't know where the calendar's going to be. Don't know how many Pro Tours or Euro Tours we're going to see, but where do you want to be in 12 months' time?
Obviously, we got the UK Open. I don't know where that's going to be, and obviously, I'm going to go straight into the same round as I was this year. So I'd like to, win a game and maybe have a good run in that event. Try and get a bit lucky and play on the main stage and play some of my best darts up there and sort of follow on from showing some sort of form in the World Championships. Probably qualified for the Players' Championship is a definite. I missed out this year. And the main aim is to retain the tour card over the 2 years. And I think I'm like bang in the middle. I'm like 50% of the 2 years, and I'm like bang where I would be. And so I'm like right on the borderline. So, and to be fair, look back, it wasn't actually a great year. It could have been a lot better. One game here or there would have been a lot more comfortable. Wherever, if the Europeans go ahead, I lost a lot of 6-5s, and 3 or 4 6-5s in qualifying where I could have qualified and sort of boosted my ranking a bit more. And then some of them, obviously it was only 4 tournaments that gone to the European Championships, but try and qualify for a few majors, start off really well, hopefully on the Pro Tour, and see where I lie if I'm close to potential world match play. But I just want to play well. As long as I play well and I start hitting my doubles, I could beat anybody. I've proved that this year. I've had darts to beat, some of the top 10. I've beaten some of the top 10. But more consistent. Like you said, I am quite inconsistent. But a lot of practice will go in now until March, I think, probably. I'm just waiting for the calendar now, Josh. To be fair, we'll see how it's going to work, and we don't know with what's going on in the world, do we? So. Exactly.
Revenge on MVG on your mind at all?
He didn't play his best, did he? But I'd love to beat him. To be fair, he's not just. Yeah, I'd love to smash him. To be fair,
I think every player in the world would. From when you played MVG, lots of people have said that he's not quite who he was before, and he's not quite got the same A game. What did you notice when you played him on that Pro Tour
game? I sort of try to focus on myself a bit more. It's a bit of a, at one point during, just before we started, I was like, oh my God, I'm playing MVG here. Like, look how far you've come. So you sort of reflect a bit. I sort of should have been 4-0 up then. And I know he wasn't playing, but I was thinking to myself, all these times in, looking at, I was a BDO player, tidy BDO player. I was thinking, how are you going to get to play against like your Gezzies, your Van Gerwens, your Peter Wrights? How are you going to compete? And there I was after 4 legs competing. Should have been 4-0 up, and I'm playing the best player, second best player to ever live, in my opinion, probably. Yeah. And I'm giving him a game, and I'm thinking, wow, look, you can do it. And it gives you confidence that you've got to play him. But because I've never played his A game, I don't really know how that feels. So I was just trying to sort of give a good account of myself, as what I say about all the games really, and try and keep with him. And I don't think 7-4 the result. I don't think that was that's not a drubbing, and if you reverse that, it should have been 8-3 to me in the 11 legs. So it's just a good experience, and I'd like to play at my best with everyone at their best to see who's the best, because I think everyone's best game in their own head should be the real top game. It's just the consistency really. But I didn't really pay that much attention to him. Just at the start I thought, wow, I'm playing against the best ever, and then I got on with the game and enjoyed it, but just a bit frustrated with the doubles really.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Nick, and thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you in 2021.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Josh. Take it easy.
Cheers, mate.